number 3. And I would like to tell you a story. The title will be Cinde Laras. Once upon a time, in a very beautiful kingdom, lived a man named Raden Putra. He was the king of Jonggala in East Java. He had an enjoyment of colliding rooster, and he believed he has the strongest rooster in the kingdom because this rooster always won the fight. He had a wife, which was the queen, and also a concubine. The queen was very beautiful, kind, generous, and also patient. The concubine was everything that the queen wasn't. She was very mean, selfish, greedy, and jealous. One day, the concubine felt jealous of the queen because she thought that Raden Putra treated the queen better than her, and she heard that the queen was pregnant. So she decided to make a bad plan to dispose the queen out of the palace. The concubine called the royal physician to make a deal about the plan. The royal physician agreed to help. "Your Majesty, I'm going to make your life miserable," said concubine to herself. On the day the concubine planned, she pretended to be sick or suffered from illness. Raden Putra called the royal physician to give her medicine. "Your Majesty, the concubine has been poisoned by the queen inside her meal." Raden Putra was shocked. He asked his wife whether the story was true, but she denied. "Your Majesty, please have mercy. I really didn't do it to her," said the queen. Putra didn't believe his own wife, so he decided to kick the queen out of the palace and kill her in the forest. He asked one of his dukes to do all the punishment. The duke knew that the queen was a very kind person. "Your Majesty, I know it's very hard for the whole kingdom to put all the blame on you. I'm so sorry," said the duke. "Everything's going to be just fine. I hope heaven is waiting for me and my prince inside of me," said the queen. The duke was shocked that the queen was pregnant of someone who would be the prince. So he made a small hut by woods in the forest, and on his way back, he killed a deer to make sure that the king would believe that he already killed the queen. 9 months later, the queen had finally gave birth. She named her baby boy Cinde Laras. She was very happy that she finally had a friend in the forest. Time flies. Cinde Laras grown into a very handsome and kind-hearted boy. He was very generous and always helped his mother on chores. One day, when Cinde Laras helped his mother on firewood, he saw an eagle egg. He ran back home and told his mother that he found something new. Soon after that, the egg had finally hatched. It became a very strong rooster. But this was not an ordinary rooster. The rooster could sing. Every morning, Cinde Laras woke up early to hear this rooster sing. "Cuckoo, cuckoo, ruyuk, my master is Cinde Laras. He lives in the woods, he is the son of Raden Putra." After that, Cinde Laras always woke up early to hear the rooster sing. He understood word by word of the song until he finally understood it. But that was something that he couldn't understand. So he asked his mother, "Mother, who is Raden Putra?" The queen was shocked when his son asked. "Oh, he's my husband, the king of Jonggala." "Is that mean I'm the prince? And you're the queen?" He was furious. "Yes, my son, I am the queen and you are the prince," answered the queen to his beloved son. On the day, with his mother's permission, he went to the palace to see the king while he's carrying his rooster. On his way to the palace, he went to a small village to rest. He saw So some men were doing a cockfighting. One man came to Cinde Laras because holding his rooster. "Hey you, if your rooster wins, you will get a reward," he said. Cinde Laras never been to a cockfighting before, but he tried it anyway. After all of the fights, Cinde Laras' rooster always won. They said that Cinde Laras was not an ordinary rooster. All of the rooster in the village flew to Cinde Laras' rooster. He was very happy receiving the rewards and continued his journey to the palace with his rooster. The news about Cinde Laras' rooster quickly spread out to the community. Even the king heard all about it. He was very curious, so he invited Cinde Laras to the palace. "What is your name, boy?" asked Raden Putra. "I am Cinde Laras, your majesty," he answered. Laras was very happy that he finally met his own father, the king of Jenggala. As Raden Putra believed he has the strongest rooster in the kingdom, he challenged Cinde Laras. "If your rooster wins, you will get half of my wealth. But if you lose, you will be killed," said the king. Cinde Laras accepted the challenge. The competition was held in front of the palace yard. The two roosters was fighting so bravely, and after a few minutes, Cinde Laras' rooster won. Raden Putra was surprised. That rooster is not an ordinary rooster, and so does the boy. Who is he exactly? Right after the competition, Cinde Laras' rooster began to sing. "Cuckoo, cuckoo, my master is the Laras. He lives in the woods. He is the son of Raden Putra." Raden Putra was shocked. Is it true?" he asked. "Yes, Majesty. I am your son and my mother was the queen." Immediately, Raden Putra called the duke who should have killed the queen. But then he confessed that he couldn't kill the queen because the queen was a very kind person. Later, he also called the royal physician and he said he was mistaken. The concubine was shocked and confessed. Your Majesty, I beg your forgiveness. Please forgive me," the concubine said. But Raden Putra didn't believe his concubine, so he disposed the concubine into the forest. Raden Putra immediately hugged his son and apologized for his mistake. Later, Raden Putra and pick up the queen in the forest. Finally, Raden Putra, Cinde Laras, and the queen could live happily together. And after Raden Putra died, Cinde Laras replaced the position of his father as the king. He ruled the country justly and wisely. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
If you were the queen and the king didn't believe you, how would you react? How would you feel?
If it was me, I think I will never love the king back, but I don't know why he loves. You know, if somebody doesn't believe you, you don't, right?
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Just nonsense.